but my heaven can't be found. Everybody get up.
Good Monday morning to you out there, and thanks for tuning in on Sissy Social Circle. You are listening live to Sissy, myself, and Kathy Thaggart, who's in the studio with me. And Kathy I've known for a while. She goes to church with me, and she's just got a great nonprofit that it's a fundraiser in town that she brings to Cleveland and has for several years. And so we're going to talk about that. First of all, though, I have to admit something that I did last week, and I did not even realize it till the next day. If you listened to the show last week, there was a guy that called in, and he said he wanted to talk to Lisa. And I think I was just having a blonde moment, and I thought, there's no one named Lisa here. And I told the guy, I said, you've got the wrong number. And he kind of looked, he sounded a little, confused. And he said, okay. He said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, yeah, it's the wrong number, And so then we kept on talking. And it wasn't until later on that I realized, oh, what was I thinking? He was talking about Lisa, the producer. She was right here. So they probably want someone else to answer the phone besides me. Because if that was my job, I would have been fired by now. So I shouldn't answer the phone, anyone's phone. But throughout the conversation today and the show, if you want to call in, if you got any questions that we talk about, you want to join in on the conversation, the number here at the studio is 614-5553. And, of course, that's area code 423. So we're going to talk a little bit about the style exchange. And I want to introduce Kathy Thaggart. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Sissy.
So Kathy has lived here in the Cleveland area for how long?
Since 1994.
Okay, so she is a mom of 4 kids. She's got 2 stepkids that are grown and grandkids, but she's not old enough to be a grandmother. And she's married to Frank Thaggart, if you know him in town, and she has 2 girls in college. And one is up north.
Yukon, up in Connecticut.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then she's got her other girl that she's at UT.
Up at UTK, go Vols.
And Kathy has a job. She works from home. Are you still doing that?
I do. I work for Oracle. I'm a programmer. Yeah. I spend a lot of time in front of the computer.
Yeah, that's awesome, though. She's got to do that. She's got 2 kids in college. She's got a lot of, I can't even imagine. That'll be me one day, 2 in college. And then that's, but it's kind of nice. I think Frank told me he's enjoying having just you to himself.
Yeah, we have fun, actually. A lot of people are like the empty nest syndrome. We kind of like it. It's kind of nice.
It is funny. And so they go to Broad Street United Methodist, and Frank builds houses. And is he still doing that in town?
He actually is a commercial builder. He does that more than homes.
Okay.
He does more commercial work.
Well, tell me about the style exchange. So this is an idea. How long has it been going on?
Okay, it started with Annie and I about 4.5 years ago. About 4 or 5 years ago. And I do have to correct you. It's not totally nonprofit. We do try and raise money for ARC.
Oh, yeah.
We do our cocktail party the first night for invited guests and to give them a chance for early bird shopping. But it's really to get donations for ARC, which is we're trying to give back with which is the nonprofit part. We're just trying to give back to the community too. But it is a consignment sale, and the consigners get 70% of what they sell, and Carol and I get 30% for our effort. So
that's awesome. So the great thing about it is if you take your stuff to a normal consignment store, the typical split is 60 or 40, and that's a good split, meaning that you would get 60% and the store owner would keep 40%. So really, all in all, you're going to come out better, more bang for your buck here by bringing your things. What if you've got somebody that wants to bring their items and they say they're a little overwhelmed? Now, this would be me. I want to take my stuff, but just the thought of coming up with the little cards and tagging it and pricing it, I don't know where to begin.
We do that for you if you want us to. And in that case, we would take 35% if you want us to tag your items. Or if you're going to donate some of your items, your proceeds, instead of keeping the money for yourself, you can donate that to ARC, and we will tag for free and give 70% of your stuff to ARC.
Wow.
And we do have a few people that do that rather than keep it themselves. But you can always do a mix. You can donate some, or keep your own. And at the end of the sale, you mark your things whether you want to donate them to charity or not, and we will haul your things to the caring place. We will we will send you a receipt from the caring place for any of the clothes we donate in your name.
So what are some of the things that you will be selling?
Oh my gosh, we have.
Well, let me tell you first of all. So I've gone several times, and I'll tell you some of the things that I bought. Let me think. Okay, one of the things I bought was a pair of Chaco sandals, which, as you know, can be $100. They were flip-flops, but they were Chacos. They weren't the typical sandals, but they were really nice Chacos that I could wear, out at the lake. Mm-hmm. And some lady had consigned them that year that had a sister who owned a shop, and they were things that didn't sell, so they were brand new.
Yes.
And I think I paid $15 for these sandals that would have normally been, $50 for that particular pair.
Right.
And then about 3 years ago, I bought a Gucci handbag, perfect condition, with the dust bag. It came with the box and everything. A bag that was $900 originally, and I paid $200.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have a Brighton bag there that's $298. I mean, it's on the tag, and we're selling it for $75. I have brought a couple things to show you if you'd like to see them.
Yeah,
but
now the things you brought, are these things that we're going to see this year?
Yes, these are things that are at the sale, and our drop-off day is today at 4:30 and tomorrow at 4:30 for our consigners, and I only have 6 people's things at my home today, things I made special arrangements for. And I already have Stuart Weitzman, Donald Pliner, a brand new pair of Saucony running shoes. Is that how you pronounce that? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
I have Marc Jacobs, Yellow Box, Tory Burch, and Cole Haan. And that was just at the top of the bags of the 6 consigners that have already dropped stuff off early.
Oh, my goodness.
I have purses. I've got Coach, Talbots, Agner, Vera Bradley. Someone brought like 8 or 9 Vera Bradley bags that look like they've never been touched. I brought 2 to show you. And there's a little Kate Spade bag, and it's
Lisa just laughed. She pointed at me, and
Are you a Vera Bradley girl?
I just like it all, and I'm a shopaholic, and I'm thinking I want to buy it right now.
You need to
and
come.
leave with it now.
Well,
Lisa and I are going to fight over it.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you a couple things that I brought. And then clothing I could go into, but we have already Ralph Lauren, etc., several Lily Pulitzer, which I brought with me, because pink is a new color this spring. It was in the magazine. I brought a magazine article just to show you.
Oh, and
pink is one of the upcoming trends.
This is an article from the Associated Press out of New York, and it says, really trendy women find ways to incorporate jackets, white and button-down shirts. Pink was cited as big for spring by retailers and shoppers in Dallas, Chicago, and Miami. Women should look for pink in every shade. Florals, animal prints, and designs inspired by snakeskin and crocodile skin are also turning up around the country. Very interesting. Mm-hmm. It says men in South Florida are not afraid to wear prints or color. That
I don't know. We don't do any men's normally.
That's not talking about my husband.
No. Now, my friend that had a store in South Carolina, she has since closed that store, but that was where I did have brand new Chacos, and I still have a few things of hers, a few new Vera Bradley flip-flops, and that didn't sell last spring, so we have a few of those left.
So tell me, on average, how much have you all been able to raise for ARC?
We raise about... The first year, I think we raised over $600.
Yeah.
Last year, it was close to $500. So, each year, each show that we do raises between $350 and I would say $550 for ARC. And we're stepping it up this year. We're going to have a raffle. We're raffling off a Mariposa silver tray. It says Bon Appetit. It's brand new off of Rue La La. And we're donating that. Carol is donating that for ARC. And if you make a donation to ARC of any denomination, you get to put your name in for the raffle and try and win the tray.
Now, one question I'm sure people wonder is it seasonal items only? So would it be just their spring and summer?
Yes, we used to do just one a year, and we've stepped it up, and we now do 2. We do one in the spring, and one in the fall. And that was to try and keep it as seasonal as we could. Now, you'll find there's a little Tory Burch 3/4 length green sweater at our sale this spring. There's a few things that creep in, but for the most part, we try and stay as seasonal as we can.
Oh, that's a great thing. And it's great too if you've got things that you need to have a formal dress for and you'd like something nice. And so you can go buy it there. And if and it's not too much of an ouch if you only pay a little bit for it instead of the typical department store price. And then then you can always consign it again. That purse that I bought, that Gucci purse that I paid $200 for, so I carried it for 2 or 3 years. And then I decided really it was too nice of a purse for me. Not that I didn't like it, but too nice in the season of my life where I have 4 boys who I'm banging it around and treating it like a diaper bag. One day in the future, I'll be able to have a nice purse like that. So I said, you know what, I'm going to sell it. So I did. I sold it for $150. So I got my money out of it,
right?
And I got it at a fraction of the cost. So I thought it was win-win.
Yeah.
And so show us some of the stuff you've got for the sale this year.
Well, okay.
So if you're watching on the web, then you'll get to see some of it. If you're not, tune in and watch it at whoopfm.com, or you can always, I'll just describe it to you. Oh, so here's a Vera Bradley bag.
And here's a Vera Bradley bag. And we have several different styles. They are clean as a whistle. I mean, they look beautiful and brand new. I went on the web and they're all selling between $60 and $80. And we've marked all of these between $18 and $30.
I think this is a great gift if you have nieces. I think this would be a great gift. This is a really cute handbag for the spring. Even for Easter, I think it's, and it carries a lot of things.
Put a few books in there. It'd be good for
I think so too. Yeah, if you want to carry your
diaper
books
bag.
around.
No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe. Oh, and it's got a long strap with it too, so you can carry it both ways. I like that. That's really cute.
There's many more. Everything I'm showing you, there's so much more. And I've only have 6 consigners. We have 30 consigners that are signed up to participate this sale. We have 83 consigners that participate since the beginning of time. Okay, you're really going to like this one, Sissy, because I know you like this brand. This is a little spring Coach bag with a little patent leather on it.
Oh,
and
that's
it is
so cute.
absolutely looks like it's brand new. No tags, but you can see.
That looks like it's brand.
It doesn't look like it's ever been worn.
Now, I'm thinking that a bag like this would be between, what do you think, $150, $200 at the store?
Right, and we have it marked 50.
I mean, that doesn't even look like it's been carried at all.
Nope.
Okay, so this is a good idea. I'm thinking if you've got even a college age girl that you want to get her something for Easter or whatnot, this would be, yeah. I mean, I think that's a great idea. So what's this?
This is Shirlea, and it was a big brand over at my friend's store. And I just don't think people know this brand, but it was $72 originally. We have $21 on it, but it's great for spring.
That's a great
Take
beach
it to the
bag.
beach. Exactly. Little beach
And it's
bag.
really deep. It's one of those never full bags, that you can put so much stuff in.
Then we get a lot of jewelry, and
I've bought some things. I've bought
have
some
you
jewelry.
bought some jewelry? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are, people wear things, and you just you get to where you just don't want to wear it anymore. But this is beautiful blue stones, and these are moonstones, I think, but I don't know enough about it to actually say. But there's just.
I think that's a great idea because, that's something that you would wear a few times as a statement piece.
Yep.
So if you had a solid color top or, a shift dress or something, you could wear that and really spice it up. And I think that's beautiful. It's nice, heavy. It feels good quality. And I've noticed in the sale that there have been some items that were Zapata and other brands that, were they cost a lot of money, $150, and the person selling them for like $15.
We always have Zapata. And we had a lot of J. Crew, those big J. Crew necklaces that were so popular, and things are rolling in. They're coming in tonight and tomorrow. Okay, let me show you some shoes that I brought.
I know. I saw all the shoes, but they don't look like they're my size.
I didn't know how many things to bring. I could have brought a lot, and I tried to just keep it
I'm just
toned
excited
down.
she brought
But
anything.
in keeping with our pink, we have pink Talbot shoes. They look like they've never been worn.
Well, and I'll tell you, my very favorite pair of shoes ever.
$12.
Oh, I bought my favorite pair of shoes ever. I bought at Talbot's 15 years ago, and I still wear them. I've had them that long.
Little pair of Cole Haan for the summer. Everyone needs a pair of Cole Haan for $7.
$7?
And these Stuart Weitzman look like they've never been worn.
Oh no, I like those
Little
too.
Stuart Weitzman shoes.
Those are like a
$25.
What would
Probably
you,
$200 and something.
like a tortoise shell. Now Stuart
Yes.
Weitzman, you're going to see at some of like Macy's or Neiman Marcus, but super expensive shoes and $25. You can't beat those. Those are size 7. Hey, I wear 6.5. Those might fit me. I think those would be.
We have some of the cutest little Tory Burch 6.5. We have Donald Pliner. We have. You name it, we have it. 9 West. Just come on.
I like the this was a saying from one of the consignment stores a few years ago, and it said, "Look like $1 million on somebody else's million."
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, because somebody else is spending the high dollar prices at these department stores. You don't have to. You can come here, still get the good quality.
Exactly right.
And I mean, like these look like they've never been worn. I mean, I don't think they have because look at the sole.
I know.
So these aren't. You're not buying used shoes. I know some people don't like the idea of wearing used shoes. I'm not too proud, but I'm not. I don't mind it at all.
Becky's is doing pretty good.
I think they're doing pretty good. And but these are beautiful and they're nice tortoise shoes. But that Stuart Weitzman brand's very expensive. If they did wear them, they only wore them around the house.
I wish I had brought more. I just didn't know how much we'd get through. So let me show you. I brought very few clothes, but just a few things, mostly in pink, just to show you.
I love it how Kathy's looked up online to see what the color or the newspaper articles to see what the colors are because she's very passionate about this.
I am. I do have an article here about the 10 best tips for green living, and one of those is also swap clothes or turn to online trading sites. And this is being green as well. Keep it.
Now, I've told you all before that I do those mom's resale pages, but this is a great way to go and buy things, not have to meet up with anybody.
Oh,
You're
that's
just going to a
exactly
straight,
right.
just one place.
And it's a one-shot deal. And we tell you, just set aside a little place on the side of your closet. And as you find things that you realize you're not wearing or they don't fit you or they just don't flatter you, the color's not right, the cut's not right, slide it to the side, put it in a spare bedroom closet, and bring it to us twice a year. And we take care of it for you.
I have a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's what I do. I put it all in a spare bedroom closet because I get it out of my closet. So I'm not. Do you ever notice that you pick something up and you put it on and you take it off again and you hang it up?
All the time.
I have a lot of things where they looked good or they were the great price or they were what everybody was wearing. And you buy them and they just sit in your closet because as much as you want to wear them, you'll put them on. Then you'll be like, I'm not comfortable. And you go get something else. We all have those. There's nothing wrong with them. They're going to look great on somebody else. They're just not for you.
I've got a dress I just
too
bought.
Short. Like I won't wear shorts like this anymore. Unfortunately, my little thighs can't handle it. But every once in a while, I get stuck buying them because I think, oh, they're so cute. I'm going to look really cute in these. And then I put them on, and I'm like, I can't walk out of the house.
You're going to be self-conscious all night and pulling on
these
them.
are Lily Pulitzer. They're new. They still have the tags on them, as you can see right here.
Wow.
They're normally $64, and we're selling them for $20.
I'm so bad. Every time I look at an item, I'm like, who bought those? Who do those belong to? And I think I probably know who those belong to. Why didn't they wear those?
Yeah. And this is a Lily bathing suit cover-up.
Oh, it is?
$12. Cute little bathing suit cover-up. If you just want to be cute at the beach.
Well, this is really a wonderful, good quality material, and it's so soft, and it's not thin at all, and it's a little bit stretchy. So it almost feels like that moisture wicking material that would take the wetness out of your bathing suit. $12, and it's a size medium. That's really cute. Mm-hmm. I like that, and it's not one of those revealing either. I think you can feel classy in that. You don't feel like you're a hooker.
That's right. I mean, if you're trying to hide the ones that are mesh, what good are those?
Yeah, it's true.
I pull those out at TJ Maxx all the time, and I'm like, they're not hiding anything. The idea is I kind of want to hide this stuff.
Exactly. Defeats the purpose.
Yeah. This is a little dress from Gretchen Scott. And it just had that little bit of pink, and it was light and small. And
gosh, this is like such a light
adorable
material. It feels kind of like linen, but it's not. I don't buy linen because it wrinkles too much. I look and I can't wear it. But this is so cute and pretty. Oh, I think we pair it with these shoes. I think there you go. Yep. Got you an outfit there. And I like that. Okay, now I'm really liking this dress right here. That's beautiful.
Oh, we could get some of the prettiest little black dresses, casual little black dresses and fancy. And this was worn once, bought for an event.
What's the brand on that?
It is, I don't know.
Be Darlin', and the size is a 1 or a 2.
I did bring mostly small things here with me in the clothing. Well, those are mediums, but we do have sizes from 0 to 14. So we do have something for everybody.
That's a beautiful dress, and it says worn once. Mm-hmm. And it's very unique too. It's very unique and it's very pretty. It's funny when I see dresses like that are a smaller size that I can definitely wear. But I'm already the wheels are turning in my mind on who I know that's a size 1 or 2 that could wear that.
Yes.
That it would look really good on them.
As these things come in, I do call a lot of my friends. I'm like, "This is you. Get over here."
Yeah, I find it's easier to shop for friends.
I think so too.
I have a couple of friends that I feel like every time I'm in a store, Luann Wynn or Jenny Card, I'm always thinking, "Oh, that's so Jenny," or "That's so Luann," and I'm always, "You need to come over here and look at this." It's easier.
I take pictures now with my. Of course, I still have a flip phone, but I take my little flip phone out and I take pictures and I send them to people. And I'm like, "Do you want me to pick this up for you? It's a great deal. It's on sale." Whatever.
I've done that. I've sent a picture once to Cheryl Bacon, and I said, "You need to get this dress over here at the Orange Blossom. It's got your name written on it, and it's like 75% off." So
nice.
I know it's easier to shop for other people than it is for yourself. But how many items would you say you take in each sale?
Oh,
hundreds.
I have 4 giant rolling racks. I have 4 racks with the 2 arms. A couple other extras, and we borrow racks from our friends Kelly Collins and Emily Bullins.
That's so funny. They have racks.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all garage sale people in one sort of another, where we, get our stuff out of there. So
that's a good idea. Okay, so Kathy, now where will this sale be held this year?
Okay, normally we like to find an empty home that someone is trying to sell, because we figure it's a win-win. We have our sale there, it's an empty home, and we have like an open house, because we'll get 250 people through over the course of the 2.5 days. Unfortunately, we couldn't find one this year. The one that we had going for us actually closing on April 2nd or 3rd.
Oh, okay.
So then we had another one, and that one just didn't work out. So guess whose house it's at? It's at my house.
I can't believe you're doing that.
So we have hauled all my living room furniture out.
Have you
my
really?
Dining room furniture. Yes, I've been hauling it upstairs and in the back room and
Frank's
trying to clear out stuff. Yeah. Frank is doing as little as he possibly can, but he does help me when I ask him. And he's been busy making little, he did this for me last night, like mannequins made out of PVC pipe, so we can dress the little.
Oh, wow.
We can dress the little PVC pipe.
Hey, that was really nice.
Yeah. So we'll have little styling outfits sitting around the house.
That's so funny.
It is funny.
Well, he's handy dandy to do all that, and it was really nice. Mm-hmm. And okay, so this is going to be at your
it'll
house.
be at my house, which is at 5633 Lexington Place.
So
come on down.
She's in the back of Anatole. Mm-hmm. Are you still in the same house there,
yes.
the White House?
Yes.
And she's on a cul-de-sac, so I don't think you should have any trouble with parking. And so tell me the sale dates.
Okay. Well, we have the private cocktail party for our consigners and our invitation. We send out invitations to a group of people, the regular clients, and that is on Thursday evening. But our sale day for the public is Friday, April 4th, this coming Friday, from 8 to 7, and on Saturday from 9 to 12. And everything on Saturday is 30% off, unless it's marked no discount. There are some things that people would rather hang on to, give to a family member or whatever, than discount it any further than they already have it. But if you come in on Saturday morning, that's the best time for a deal, because it's 30% off most everything marked in there. But we are there all day Friday and would love to have you, even through your lunch hour.
Now, what if someone wants to come and consign some things? So do they just show up at your house tonight?
No, they absolutely don't. They have to be assigned a
drop-off time,
a consigner number. We send rules on how to tag the items, and when to drop off. And drop off is this evening. If you would like to consign and you have you can email us at styleexchange548@gmail.com. And if you can email us there and ask questions. If you'd like to consign, I'll give you a number and send you our rules about what we accept and the condition it needs to be in and how to tag your own items and what the deal is if you want us to tag your items. And if you can do that today, then come on. You can drop your stuff off tonight or tomorrow.
So drop your stuff off. They'll need a time to come to drop their things off. Right?
4:30 to 6:30 tonight.
4:30 to 6:30. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think everybody, that would be a great time, because if you're at work, then it gives you time to go home, grab your stuff. And I think for just an additional 5%, not only does it go to a good cause, but don't be inundated like I am. I sometimes, if I feel like something's going to take me a lot of time, I never get around to doing it. Mm-hmm. You could just schlep your stuff in the back of your car. Get your time to go, and then just drop it off and let them price it.
Make sure it's pressed and on nice hangers, though. And we, because we don't have time to do that.
That's right.
And it needs to be in presentable form when it comes to me.
Now, or tell me the different, I know, yeah.
Yeah, don't schlep it too much.
Don't schlep it too much.
Don't leave it in a pile on my porch, please.
Yes, and you don't want any deodorant marks on it either.
Right,
things like that.
Right.
Now, tell me,
clean and pressed.
A few years ago, you guys took household items.
We did only the first year, and that was really because we had a lot of items at the place. We had it office furniture and things like that Annie was selling at that time. So we decided to take in the house, furniture and household goods, but that's really not what we can handle. We're strictly high-end women's consignment, clothing and accessories and shoes.
Okay, so if you've got hats, purses, shoes,
scarves, jewelry,
no underwear.
No underwear. No bathing suits unless the tags are still on them. We don't do maternity wear. We don't do children's.
Or men's.
Now, we did have those brand new men's Chacos from my friend's store, but that was an exception. They were fabulous, but they were still new in the box. So we did do those, but normally no, just...
I think that's great, because you think about it, and no one really wants a used bathing suit anyways. Although on that mom's resale page, I sold a used bathing suit.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe they bought my used bathing suit, and I even said I'd worn it for a while. Mm-hmm. They didn't know me. Yeah, I could have had issues.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. We just thought it was safer not to do underwear or stuff like that.
Well, I think that's a great idea. And then you've got a good collection to pick from too. And when you go to the sale too, you're not going to be there a long time, because they have it organized wonderfully.
Yes.
So how are you're doing it by size?
No, we do it we have racks of shirts, racks of pants, shorts, skirts. We separate it by the item, so that if you're looking for dresses, they're all in that area. And we try and do them small to large, but as people are putting things back and things are moving around, it's not quite as nice and tidy.
I don't know how
like
you have self-control yourself, because when you see it all come in, Kathy, don't you think, I need this, Shelby needs that, I could wear that?
Yes.
I mean, don't you think
I do. That little Coach bag that I brought in, I've put it on, taken it off, put it on, taken it off. I've had it for about 4 days. I was going to buy it, didn't buy it. Going to buy it, didn't buy it. My thing is I always just opt to leave it and see if it's going to sell, and then I'll grab it on the 30% off day.
That's a
I
good
think
idea.
Most people that know me know I'm out for the bargain.
She is.
So I just don't. But I will tell you, you'll laugh. Last night I'm watching TV and I'm looking over at those racks, and I started going through them, and I pulled out. There were 2 Athleta dresses.
Oh, I love Athleta.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute, and a white blouse, and another blouse that I tried on, but they were all just a little snug. I did grab a pair of tan capris. Those are in my bedroom right now. I did snag those. Tried on some coral capris. They fit pretty nicely, but I put them back. I just wasn't prepared to buy the coral capris yet. But I do go through the stuff, and the sad thing is the more I look at it, the more I kind of want it, so the whole sale, I'll be pulling it off, and then I'll go, no, I need to leave it for my clients, and I'll put it back. And I'm constantly wrestling with this stuff.
That I know. Hard. I would have a hard time with it too, because I would think that I needed everything. And that's the tough part about it. Yeah. Well, now For those people who are listening and they're not really familiar with the ARC, tell us a little bit about the ARC and what they do.
Okay, well, ARC is one of our premier animal shelters here in Cleveland, and I did bring a write-up on ARC. I think I'll have to put on my glasses to read to you. What did I do with those? Oh, here they are. The Arc of Cleveland is a faith-based nonprofit entity incorporated under the laws of the state of Tennessee. And their mission statement is fourfold: to educate children and adults on topics of kindness to all living beings, proper care, and the need to spay and neuter as many companion animals as possible to reduce the tragic animal overpopulation. Their second item is to increase adoptions at the Arc of Cleveland, to expand the Arc of Cleveland Adoption and Resource Center, allowing us to save the lives of more adoptable pets, and to help pet owners with placing unwanted pets, find homes for lost, found, and rescued pets, and providing an information service, including referral information. And they're a fabulous organization. Bob Kaler is the director of ARC, and he will be there Saturday for sure. They always send a few representatives from ARC to help us out with the sale. Casey DeCook will be there tonight and on Saturday, and she's just adorable. And she's been there the last 3 sales that we've had. And they come and they bring a board with their current pets that they have at the shelter. And they'll talk to you about your pets, their pets, what's going on in town. There's some big news about how I don't know if it's the Cleveland shelter or the county shelter has now been taken over by the SPCA. And ARC and the SPCA were both vying for that privilege to take care of the animals for our county or our city. And SPCA got that bid this year. But we're all working for the common good, the greater good for the animals. And that's what they're there for. So we like to support them and give back to them if we can.
Now, they used to have a location there on Ocoee Street, and did they move or do they not have a location anymore?
No, they have a really cute little house, and it's on, their little address is on here. It is 240 Oak Street. So it's right by church. It's just 2 blocks back from Broad Street, United Methodist Church.
I had no idea. Do they still have animals there?
Oh, yes. Cats, dogs.
Where did they get their animals from?
Mostly people dropping them off because either their circumstances won't allow them to keep their pets, or they found pets that they weren't able to locate an owner. That's really where they come from. All different circumstances.
So do people sometimes take their pets there instead of the animal shelter?
Yes.
And that's okay to do?
Yes, if they have room, but they have limited space due to limited funding, and that's why it's always nice to help them out. They take as many as they can take comfortably. Unfortunately, all of our shelters, all of our rescue groups run out of space, and then you are left with the county or the city shelter, and they do as good a job as they can do too. But I think the ARC is a no-kill shelter, as are many of our other rescue groups. They will not put down or euthanize any of the animals. They will hang on to them until they find them a good home. But what that means is there's limited space. And when they can no longer go to these no-kill spaces, they end up at the shelter. And the shelter, unfortunately, can't do that. Although there is a tireless group of people working for No Kill Cleveland. They're trying to make Cleveland a no-kill city, and it's a fabulous thing. And unfortunately, I feel very inadequate to be talking about all of this because I'm not as knowledgeable as I should be. But I will say I had 2 dogs that were dumped in my neighborhood, and oh my God, it was pitiful. I ended up luring them to my place, and I kept them for 2 weeks. I spay-neutered the little one. I got all the shots for the older one. I tried my best, but I called every shelter, every rescue group in this town that I could find, put them online there's one called Pet Finders, I think, which is an online that goes across the whole United States. And I couldn't get anyone to take them, and I ended up taking both those dogs to the shelter when I had to go on vacation. And I know that's horrible. I had to do it. But I already have 2 of my own and could not keep 4 forever. And I think one of them adopted out right away, and I'm just praying that the other one was saved as well. But
You never know. We had to do that a few years ago. I used to go I used to pick up animals all the time on the road. And about 10 or 11 years ago, I was in my territory when I was working as a drug rep, and I saw two on the side of the interstate in Winchester. I had a leftover Jiffy Burger in the car from the Manchester drive-thru. I did. A hamburger patty. And I got out in my suit and my high heels, and I was running down the interstate waving that hamburger patty. And I got those two dogs in the back of the car, and they were just ridden with fleas and ticks and filthy, you know. I'm sure my offices loved getting their samples after that. And so you just pop those dogs on top of there. And so that was real sanitary. It's a good thing I don't work in that field anymore. And
what they don't know.
They had a few dog hairs in their Premarin pills. But anyways, so I kept those two dogs. And the funny thing is, I found a home right away for one of those dogs. But then the other dog nearly drove us batty. I don't know if I ever told you about this or not, Lisa. So that one dog was a Jack Russell mix. And those are pretty hyper dogs.
Very active.
And so the funny story with that was that dog, we gave it away twice, and then the people brought it back.
Bouncing back.
Yeah, the people would say, we can't keep this dog. It's making us bonkers. So then the dog was tiny enough, he would squeeze through the fence, and he would go to the neighbors' houses and eat their shoes, get their garbage. I mean, you couldn't keep him in the fence. And so then, and we had a screened-in porch. So the dog tore up the screens on our porch. Then it chewed through our telephone wires. And then the worst part was it would sit on the back porch and just that high-pitched, incessant barking all night. It was making us crazy. And so one night I woke up around 3 a.m. and Andy was not in bed. So I go downstairs. I'm looking for him. He's laying there in the recliner by the window, and he's got a rolled-up newspaper on his chest. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Every time that dog barks, I hit the window with this newspaper to get it to shut up." Said, "I can't take it anymore." I said, "We can't live like this. We can't." So I went back upstairs and I got dressed and I came back downstairs and I had my car keys. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm taking it off. I can't take it anymore. I'm going to drop it off somewhere." He said, "You can't do that." So we had this, disagreement. We said, "What's better to do? Do you take it and you let it out somewhere where maybe it could find a home, or do you take it to the shelter?" And so Andy said, You're not going to do that." He said, "I'm taking it to the shelter tomorrow." So we felt really bad about doing it. But he was cute. I mean, it was a little deceiving when you looked at him. You thought he was cute and it would be a nice dog. He was not. So anyway, somebody hopefully
found the goodness in that sweet dog. Or took it to training.
I know. But the worst, though, I know. So he takes the dog to the shelter. And the next day I said, "Well, I can't do it. I can't take him to the shelter." And Andy said, "I can. I don't want to even look back." So anyways, he took the dog to the shelter. And the worst part is our neighbor across the street was Thomas Arundel, and he was about 3 or 4 at the time, and he had named the dog Spanky. And so for months, he said, "Where's Spanky go? Where's Spanky?" And we didn't want to say. Thomas, he was driving us and everyone in the neighborhood crazy. We could only take so much. But I hope someone looked into his eyes and saw some love there.
Right.
They just didn't know his annoying habits.
Right.
So it's been a while since I've picked up a dog. But the interesting thing is I go quite a bit to the shelter and look at the animals, and they're always full. It seems like in each dog run they have sometimes 3 or 4 dogs and kittens and whatnot, and always cats and puppies. And the adoption fee is so little. It's usually $50, and that includes them to be spayed or neutered. And you just can't beat that. And it's a great cause, and you can find a multitude of animals there. A friend of mine who's a veterinarian recently told me that across the United States, 4 million dogs are euthanized every single day.
I worked at an animal shelter in Denver, Colorado, and the number was about 240 a day. But they adopted out lots and lots and lots of animals as well. I worked at the adoption desk every Friday night from 7:30 to 9, and for about 7 years, just as an extra thing to do. And at first you think you really can't do that, but you get used to it, and you get, you just know you're helping more than, you're helping as many animals as you can. There was an interesting article that my friend Ann Fear just sent me yesterday, and it's called Black Dog Syndrome.
I know. I was about to bring that up.
This?
Yes.
Emmylou Harris is she's a country singer, and she is on a mission. I guess there is, black dogs are put down more than in a higher ratio than any other color dog because they're black. People perceive them as mean, is what this article said. And so there were tons of people out marching for this, and they all had their black dogs. And what's funny is I have always had a black dog. always, since I was a kid, our dogs have always been black. So I'm shocked by this. I would have argued the point and said, no, everyone has black labs, you know.
Well, the article that I had read a while back about this, it was a little girl that had a crusade to get black dogs adopted more often. And what I had read was that because they are black and they have the black eyes, that it's harder for people to connect with them because, you know, you want to look into the dog's eyes and make that connection because it's all black. It's harder to connect and make the eye-to-eye contact. That's what they were saying. And so
Interesting.
it is interesting. And by the way, a friend of mine just texted me and said, could you please repeat the email address? So once again,
Oh, yes.
if you're wanting to consign, set up a time, it's styleexchange548 at gmail.com. That's spelled STYLEEXCHANGE 548 at gmail.com. So just keep that in mind if you want to email, and she'll be checking her
looking
email.
forward to that email. Yeah.
But it's interesting. So you'll have a board up with all of the pets that are adoptable.
Right.
And ready to go.
And we'll have our raffle for the Mariposa tray. And if you can make a donation, if you're coming to the cocktail party or during regular public shopping times, we have our little cookie jar, our dog treat cookie jar out there. So you can donate to the ARC, and we're happy to have it.
Oh, yeah. Now, is the ARC, are they the same ones that stand outside in front of Petco on Saturdays and adopt pets? They are, right?
Well, they're not always. There's all different organizations will be outside Petco,
They're
but
one
I
of
believe ARC has done that. But there, some of these other organizations will as well.
And Kathy, you've got your 2 dogs.
I do.
And do you have any cats?
I love my dogs. One is very old, though. It makes me nervous. Little Holly Molly, who started out as Holly when we got her in my, her name was Holly Nicole on her tag, because we're rescue people. We always get rescue dogs. And my kids were little, and they're like, we don't like Holly Nicole. We want her to be Molly. And so we told the person we were getting this dog from, and they said, well, you might want to call her Holly Molly till she gets used to it. Well, she's still Holly Molly to this very day, which is just a silly name. And then we have Scout, who's a cute little beagle dachshund mix, little boy.
Yeah. Oh, we've got our 2 dogs. And
Oh, do you have 2 dogs?
We do. And then a friend of mine passed, and we're going to be getting her dog, which her dog is one of the dogs I picked up in Winchester that day. 10, 11 years ago.
Coming back around.
Coming back. I had no idea when I
my
lured that dog
gosh.
into the car with the hamburger patty, I would be getting the dog back.
That is a heartwarming story.
When she passed away, she said she wanted me to have her dog, and so I'll take the dog. I know, and I have not told Andy yet. The dog sleeps on the bed under the covers.
Uh-oh.
It's
Uh-oh.
He'll figure that
Andy's
out.
going to be back in that chair with that newspaper down in the family room.
That was kind of crazy that night, you know, and but the dog was driving us crazy. What do you do? And we've adopted a couple of dogs from the animal shelter, and one was a really big one. He was 160 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, he was huge. He was bigger than me.
What kind of dog was that?
Well, I think he was
Saint Bernard.
Well, we think he was just a multitude of colors. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
he was maybe like a mixture between Lab, Bull Mastiff, and Dalmatian. So he was huge.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big old baby, and he was a good boy.
Yeah.
It's
Big boy.
Well, hey, I want to talk about something else while I've got
Okay.
you here.
Sure.
So this is something that intrigues me, and maybe it does you too. I don't know at home. The book club. So I'm in a book club in Chattanooga, and Kathy is just a big time reader. Sometimes she'll stay up all night and read.
I do read late at night, unfortunately.
And
yes.
she loves her books, and so when I see Kathy, I always like to get recommendations for good books. And so, tell me, what are you reading now?
We're reading The Goldfinch.
Oh, okay. So
Have you read that?
That was last month's book that we read, and The Goldfinch is on the top 10 bestseller list. And last night I was reading it. I love to read it on my Kindle because it tells me the percentage that I'm through. So I'm almost at 60%. And even though we've moved on to another book, I'm going to finish it because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Have you read it yet?
Is. I'm about 2/3 of the way through.
Do you like it so far?
I do like it. There's a few places that lull for me because it is such a big book.
Yes.
But I am enjoying it. Yeah. It's a very, very good book.
What are some other books you guys have read recently?
I wish you had asked me because at this age, my brain just doesn't work so well, and I would have written it down.
You told me okay, so tell me some of your favorite books and then tell me some of your least favorite.
Oh.
So if you're a reader at home and while she's thinking about it,
we've read all of the books, The Kite Runner and, The Mountain's Echo. That
we read
was
that
last
one.
year. Yeah. What are you reading?
Okay, so this past month, the girl picked The Great Gatsby.
Oh, interesting.
Which I read it. She wanted to do something like a classic, and so that was something I read in high school. And I did, and I said, "Gosh, that's a great one," because a lot of the time we're on a time crunch. If you haven't read, you're reading so much the week of book club, and so I was trying to hurry. And I didn't do that one this week as we were out of town, and I missed the book club. This month, the book that they have picked is The Husband's Secret, which
we read that.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yes. Yeah, it's good. It clips right along. It's an easy read. It's interesting.
And there's so much pressure to pick a book when it's your month, and you want to pick one that everyone doesn't hate, but everyone loves. And so last year, the book that I picked was a book that a friend of mine recommended, and it was a wife book. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
There's so many.
Oh, I know. It's
The
called
Pilot's Wife.
It was the last. It was called The Last Dance, and it was a Christian author. And when I read the book for the first time, a friend of mine that had recommended it to me, I couldn't put it down. It was a couple that had decided to divorce after 20 some odd years of marriage, and they hadn't told their kids. And on the eve of telling their kids, their daughter announced that she was engaged. So they decide they're going to stick it out for the engagement, and then decide what to do after, or they're going to announce the divorce after the marriage. So the book is basically the whole 6 months leading up to the daughter's marriage and seeing if they can work through it. So I cried through the entire last chapter. It was such a good book. Funny enough, Andy was out of town when I was reading the book, and I just thought of all the things I don't treasure him for. So when he got back, I think that was the weekend I got pregnant. So Andy loved it that I read that book.
He was appreciated.
I know he was appreciated in a lot of ways, and so. But I thought that was a great book. So it was 2 or 3 years later that I, it was 2 or 3 years ago that I read the book. So then I suggested, this is a great book because, some girls and everybody struggles a little bit in their marriage from time to time. And so this may be just the right thing for anybody in the book club. Well, then when I reread the book, it was the cheesiest. I was so embarrassed. And so as I read it, and I thought, I think it spoke to me at that time.
Right.
And then and a couple of the girls aren't even Christians. They're like, they're Hindu. And so they said, we didn't know if you were trying to convert us or what. And I said, no, it was just about, marriage and everything.
Yes.
And but a book strikes you different at different points. And
I think they do, yes.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that so much now. But
right.
We've read The Goldfinch, and so The Husband's Secret is this one. And you find as you're in a book club, it encourages you to read books that you may not normally pick up.
That's right.
And also, I have learned too that with certain authors I don't like, and so if I'm bad about it. So if somebody picks a Nicholas Sparks book again, then I'm not going to waste my money on it. I'm just going to go enjoy the wine and the conversation. I'm not going to read that because I don't like it.
Oh, you're one of those that comes having not read the book.
Well, if it's
we
Nicholas
don't need
Sparks,
to talk about that then.
I know it. It was Nicholas Sparks. Of course, what's going to happen is when it comes to be my time, people are going to say, "I'm not reading her book. I read it last time and it sucked."
I try and read every book, and we have Lou Horner, and she's a 5th grade teacher. Do you know Lou?
Yeah.
Well, she only reads nonfiction. I mean, that's really what she likes best. And so through Lou, I have read Undaunted Courage and John Adams. And those are books I would never, ever read because I truly love a good junkie detective cop. I read Cornwell, autopsy stuff. Yeah. I love the Pattersons. I love the cop dramas. I do like Lee Childs and just stuff like that. And I will say in my spare time, if I could read any books, those are the kind of books I pick up. But I do love book club because it does have you reading all sorts of things that you wouldn't normally pick up.
Yeah, I can't read James Patterson anymore. I read one of his books, and I realized after that, I thought
they're psycho.
Well, I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to give me nightmares. Yeah. That was pretty. If I was his wife, I could not sleep at night. I'd be worried he would do something to me.
Yeah. Now we just read just recently we read the John Grisham book, the latest John Grisham.
Was it good?
That was pretty good, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm telling you, I have such a short-term memory.
Well, I'll tell you who my favorite author is, or at least
who?
My favorite book is called, Robert Goolrick, and it's spelled Goolrick. And so he's only had a couple of novels out. And my favorite book is A Reliable Wife. And it's suspense set in the 1920s. And it's incredible.
So familiar. I wonder, have you read that with your book club?
No, I may recommend it next time because I've got to come up with a good one after that dud. I recommended last year.
You need to redeem yourself.
I do. Now, if you're not in a book club, let me give you a recommendation if you want to save money, is to go get the ebooks from the library and get that app on your Kindle because it's a great way to do it. Now, I make that recommendation. It's going to save you the, $10 or $11 that you would pay on your Kindle to buy the book. But I make that recommendation, and here I am. I made an appointment at the library so the girl could show me how to put the app on my iPad. And she even admitted to me that the only people that do that are the older people. Oh. And so, I felt kind of like an idiot. And still then we couldn't get it figured out because she said, you have to have 6.0 or higher version. So she said, you got to go home. She wrote the instructions for me. Go home, sync it to the computer, do this and this, then come back. And I said, okay, but I think most people listening could probably do it on their own and they wouldn't have to make an appointment with the library to figure it out. I just thought that would be the easiest for me. So do you do that?
At least you have a Kindle. I don't have a Kindle. And I don't have an iPhone either.
Do you like the regular books?
I go buy hardback books. I go buy books at Books A Million. I am a buy local sort of girl. So I go buy books at Books A Million, or I try and then we share. There's a couple of us that then share it, or Amazon. Sometimes my friend Beverly, she just whips on her little iPhone and Amazon orders for me, and I pay her back.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I like a book still because I'm on the computer 10 hours a day with my job, and I truly believe that's why I'm so resistant to all these other things. Is I can't sit in front of another screen.
Yeah,
at night too. So.
I could see that. What do you do with all your old books? You just swap with other people? I take them to
Lee's Used Books down here. Do you know about Lee's Used Books?
I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
It's like, what's the big one down in Chattanooga that everybody goes to? McKay's. It's like our own local McKay's, and they're great. And you take your books in there, and they'll keep track of it on the computer, what you have in credits or whatever, and then you can borrow back. They have DVDs. I went there for my beginning yoga DVD that I was going to try, and they only had VHS for the yoga. They had all sorts of other high intensity workout stuff, but they have movies for the kids. I mean, tons of DVDs.
Are
VHS.
They located in the Village Green?
No, they're next to the Antique Parlor on Grove Street. Have you been to the Antique Parlor?
I haven't.
Oh, my gosh.
Really?
The Antique Parlor is fabulous. It's right across
I think that's
the
where
street
I'm going
from
next.
where we are right now.
Go.
Lee's Used Books is on the end, like if you're staring at the strip of stores, there's Lee's Used Books is on the far right. Then next to that is the Antique Parlor, just full of good things, tons of booths, all independently owned booths, antiques.
I think I've been living underneath a rock.
I don't know where you've been. Well, and then, I'm not saying anything, but the rest of the, it's kind of, up there by Habitat and all, but it's not right on Keith Street, so maybe just haven't noticed. But if you have books, you can drop them off at Lee's Used Books, and if you need books, you go there and buy them for a fraction. It's just like Style Exchange. People read a book once, and then they take it, and you can get it for a fraction of the cost.
I think that's great. I need to go over there and look.
Yeah.
So did you think of any books that were your favorites over the last year?
I am just
know I've been
so
talking our ears off.
I'll call in on your next radio show and tell you some of my favorite books. I have to go back and look at the because I keep the schedule. I'm like Miss Secretary, and I'll keep all the books that we've read over the last few years.
Kathy, I think you told me about the Casual Vacancy. Didn't you tell me about that book?
Yes, we did read that.
Did you like that book? Or do you think it was weird?
I think I thought it was weird, but I can't really remember what it was now. But yes, it was some famous. Who was it? It was a follow-up book from somebody else's. It was Rowling's, the Harry Potter author. You know what? It was okay.
I only got about 25%
It was just totally
through
different. Yeah, you didn't finish it. Yeah, I would never have pulled that out as one of my favorites. But again, I like to read all these different things because they're just fun to read something different.
Well, what I'm going to do on my phone now, and I just got it uploaded today, was, and I've heard about it for a long time, and then I just never get around to doing it. I uploaded Goodreads on my phone today. And so I think it's a free app that you write in your wish list, the things that you've read, things that you're currently reading, and then your wish list of the things that you want to read. And you sync up with your friends, or you can be in groups. And so you could be in groups with people you don't know, but maybe sort of have the same taste in books. So I'm looking to hopefully find people that have the same taste,
right,
and like the same things, because, like I said, I don't really like the sappy love stories. Well, I say that, and I just said I picked that other one. Yeah. But I don't really.
And you can't really count on reviews, because I did the same thing you did. I went, and it was our turn to do book club, and you're kind of sweating it, and I don't have a lot of spare time, so I don't get to read. Like, if I am reading those books, nobody else wants to read them, the Patterson and the whatever. But so I went and did all these reviews, and I picked one that sounded fascinating, like it would generate great conversation. And it was about a person who was driving and drinking and hit someone and left the scene and had to live with that on their conscience, and how it played out in their... It sounded fascinating. It sounded really good. It got great reviews, and I had our book club do it, and it was kind of like yours. It just wasn't it wasn't written well. It was
well, and you feel
not
guilty
a great
too,
book. And then you feel bad because nobody really liked your book. But win some, lose some.
Did you guys ever read the Gone Girl?
Oh yes.
Did you like it?
I loved Gone Girl. I hated the ending.
I did too.
Yeah,
it's a fascinating book. It's very sadistic, and it's been in the top 10 bestseller list for a really long time. And my mother-in-law said, I've got that listed on the books I want to read at the library because you recommended it. And I said, no, just so you know, because she's pure and vanilla. My mother-in-law, she's So I said, because I thought she's going to read this and read some of the language and the sexual stuff in there and think, I can't believe my daughter-in-law liked this. But I just said, it's very twisted and very sadistic. But the thing that I liked was the creativity behind it and the total thinking outside the box, that it was unlike any other storyline. Mm-hmm. So it's not a typical...
And it pulled you along. You got absorbed into the story. And yeah, so, I really liked it. I liked it a lot. I just did not care for the ending. So with
that said... One last thing as we close up the show.
Okay.
So I love to talk to Kathy about books, because I feel like she
can't remember any of them.
But she knows a lot about books. So if you see her in the store, ask her. She might.
I'll start carrying around my little list in my thing. I can go, oh yes, this one.
I know when I've seen her before at things, I get my app on my phone, my notes, and I go in and I type in, but then I write at the bottom, from Kathy Thaggart, because otherwise I'll forget. I have a bad memory, so then I'll forget who it was from and I'll delete it. So I need to know it's from Kathy. So when I say, oh yeah, that Kathy said that was good, so then I want to get that. So the style exchange coming up this week, folks, and you're going to have the private sale is on Thursday night to open to the public. Mm-hmm. So Thursday night, you want to come get the good stuff. That's if you've consigned.
That's the early bird shopping. If you're a consigner or you've received an invitation, and once you become a regular with us or a consigner with us, you'll get an invitation. But that is to kind of reward our people by letting them get the good stuff early and have first crack at it, I guess. And then also it is to raise money for the ARC. We have a lovely little cocktail party. But then all day Friday we're there. We have so many things, beautiful things. Please come by. You'll find something for everyone. And because there's so many things with tags, you can find presents for people. They don't have to know that you bought it at Style Exchange.
Until they ask you, where'd you get this so I can take it back? And you say,
fine boutique store. Yeah. A new little store I ran into one day.
I don't remember the name of it. I don't remember the name of it. That's so funny. Okay, so that's Thursday night.
Oh, and then Saturday morning is the 30% off sale. Really come by, and if there's anything you saw on Friday that you were unsure about, come back Saturday and pick it up at 30% extra off.
And it's very well organized, and so it's not like if you go to TJ Maxx where you have to spend a lot of time sorting through things. Sometimes I don't go to things if I feel like it's going to take a long time, but every year that I've gone, I spend 30 minutes and I'm in and out, and it's very efficient as far as the line and paying. Now, will you take credit cards, cash, check only?
Cash and check only.
Okay, so that's good to know.
That's good to know.
And I'm thankful that you take checks, because I'm like an old lady. Yeah. I still use checks. I don't know. I mean, I didn't realize that was like an old person thing until the girl at Ace Hardware told me only 5% of the customers that come through there use a check. She acted like I was a dinosaur.
I know. At church, you were at our service yesterday. They were talking about how they set up auto pay.
That's too much.
Whatever. And they were making fun of the people that write checks so that you don't. Who writes checks? Who has their checkbook with them? And I'm like back in the back with my little hand raised. But yeah.
People.
Checks are good. Cash is good.
Yeah. Well, if somebody
we're just not set up for the credit card.
I always say, I mean, if those people that carry cash on them, well, if I ever got robbed, they would be really disappointed.
Yes.
I mean, they'd get a couple of pennies,
yes,
and a checkbook,
right, that they wouldn't know how to use.
That they would not know how to write a check because I'm obviously like a dinosaur. So, with that said, okay, so the Style Exchange is coming up this week. Grab your stuff together. This is a great way to support a local cause, but also make some extra cash. And it's not even like you have to tell your husband you did it. I mean, gather your stuff up, and that could be your fun money. Spring break, if you have it, our spring break's coming up in a couple of weeks, but it's a great way to earn a little extra cash and put it aside. The recipe that I wanted to share with you guys for the week is a fruit and yogurt. So you're looking for something healthy to eat. My kids love the parfaits that are like 99 cents at McDonald's. And all you need to do is go to the grocery store, get your vanilla yogurt, non-fat. Last night I bought vanilla, regular yogurt, low fat, and I bought the Greek yogurt. I'm going to taste test and see which ones. Sometimes the kids scream if it tastes too healthy, and they don't like that. They like to rot their teeth out. So I got both. And so get your vanilla yogurt, sliced fresh fruit. I know that fruit and produce is expensive, so just get the frozen. You're going to get the same nutrition value. Thaw it out in the fridge, and it's going to last longer without it going bad. Maybe drizzle some honey over it and some granola. There's all kinds of great choices at the grocery store with different types of granola to use. You've got a healthy, quick snack. I did it for the kids this morning, and they really loved it. I mean, they felt like it was a treat. And when you're sending your kids off to school, you like to send them off with a protein for brain power. If you think about it, they do love waffles and pancakes, but that's such a heavy carb that, they're going to get a little bit sleepy at school. So send them off with something for some brain power. A fruit and yogurt is a great low-fat thing to do in the morning. Also, the deal of the week I came across I want to share with you is, and the girl at Publix just told me about this the other day. You go to Publix.com/coupons. Now, these people that are extreme couponers, I'm envious. I wish I could be that way, but that's not me.
Right.
I mean, I can barely keep up with everyone having clean underwear at our house. And coupons, I mean, it's like, that's a little much to ask. So you go to Publix.com/coupons. So enter in your telephone number, and every time that you shop there and you give them and you swipe your card, you don't have to print out coupons anymore. You don't have to search the sales ads anymore. They've got the coupons in the computer system, and it will automatically come up. Isn't that cool? You don't have to print them out. You don't have to carry them around with you. You don't have to say, oh, did I have a coupon for that mayonnaise for 35 cents off? So for delinquents like me that have a hard time keeping up with things, they keep it in their computer system with the products that you generally buy. Isn't that a cool thing to do? And
yes.
It's paperless,
yes.
And you just type in your phone number, and there's your coupons. They also do double coupons there. So you could save a lot of money.
What day is double coupon day?
I think it's every day. Right? No, maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't know. Keep up with it. Look at that online. And with that said, even though I love Publix, I do also like to throw in one more thing. If you're looking for specialty beers and things that you can't get and you think you need to go to a large town to get those things, Cooks. Go in the back of their store and get your specialty beers, and you got your 6-pack, and you can just fill it with not all Blue Moon, but whatever kind of beer you want to get.
That's good to know.
And I still think, even though we had Publix that moved into town and you like to get good deals, I like to eat good, fresh things. You're not going to beat Cooks. They've got the freshest meat, and we all like to support local, right?
Right.
So with that said, that's the end of the show. That's the deal, and that's the recipe of the week. And thanks, Kathy, for coming on. So check out Style Exchange.
Sure.
StyleExchange548@gmail.com. Next week, when you listen into the show, I've got a real special treat for you. And this is all the buzz right now, and it has piqued my interest. Essential oils. So Hillary Libby, who is a natural holistic health coach, certified in that, and she's also a certified yoga instructor, and she's a drug rep. She sells vaccines to all of the animal clinics and animal shelters. She's a big animal lover, and she's vegan and has been for several years. So if you don't know, that's different from being a vegetarian. She eats no dairy whatsoever. If it came from an animal, in other words, if it had a mother, or then she doesn't eat it. That's her rule of thumb. But she's
Wow.
incredibly healthy, and she's a very healthy person. And so she's selling and is a distributor for essential oils. And so she's going to come in and talk about, you hear that this buzz. I use a little peppermint behind my kid's ear, and it got rid of the nausea. I used a little bit of this on their foot, and within 5 minutes, their incessant cough they've had for 2 weeks was gone. So some people say it's snake oil salesman. I'm thinking this is natural that you can buy, and if it works, how can you complain, right? And you're not taking you're not taking a pill. So next week, listen in. Essential oils, that's next week. So thanks for listening in, and hope to see you next week.